What's going on, guys? It's Tyler bringing you a Mistweaver monk guide for 7.2.5. Now, the Mistweaver has seen a lot of changes since 7.2 and the class has improved drastically. It's in a great spot right now, and I'm creating this video to hopefully get others to play and enjoy this class as much as I do. So in this video I'm going to go over talents, stats, legendaries, spells, playstyle, basically everything you would need to know to play this class in raids and 5-man scenarios. Let's talk about our spells. Renewing Mist is a smart heal and hot that should be used on cooldown as often as possible. Effuse is going to be your filler spell. It's fairly weak and doesn't cost a whole lot of mana, but it will cast Soothing Mist on the target, making it the cheapest way to get a Soothing Mist started. Enveloping Mist is our strong single target heal. You'll use it on a player that's taking heavy damage if you have a second or two to cast it. The heal itself will heal the target for a large amount over 7 seconds, as well as increasing the healing of your other healing spells on that target by 40%. A good combination is to use this on a player that's low health and follow it up with our artifact ability with roughly 5 or 6 clouds, making an extremely powerful heal. Vivify is our mini AoE heal. It will heal the target for a moderate amount of healing, as well as the 2 nearest injured allies by the same amount. You should focus on using this spell when you get an Uplifting Trance proc, which increases the healing of your next Vivify by 40%. Uplifting Trance procs off of your Renewing Mist ticks, which is why it is so important to use Renewing Mist on cooldown. Lastly, Essence Font is your raid heal. This is a 2.6 second channel that will launch healing bolts at 6 allies every second, healing them for a considerable amount and putting an 8-second hot on them. This is also castable while moving, which is a change added in 7.2.5 that made the spell feel that much better. Now let's talk about our cooldowns. Our big raid heal is Revival. It's an instant spell that heals all allies within 40 yards for a large amount. With your artifact trait, it will also leave a 6-second hot on everyone for 30% of the healing it did. Your next cooldown is Thunder Focus Tea. This is a spell with a 30-second cooldown that will empower one of the spells I mentioned earlier. It will either make Effuse heal for 200% more, make Enveloping Mist instant, channel Essence Font 100% faster, not trigger the cooldown on Renewing Mist, allowing you to cast a second one immediately, or your next Vivify will be free. In raids, the best spells to use during Thunder Focus Tea are either Vivify, which will be your go-to so you can get multiple free casts off every fight, saving you a lot of mana, Enveloping Mist as an emergency heal if someone is about to die, or Essence Font if the whole raid takes a lot of damage and you need to burst heal them back up quickly. In dungeons, it will follow mostly the same rules, except you will probably use more of your Thunder Focus Teas on Enveloping Mist or Vivify, just because Essence Font isn't used nearly as much in 5-mans. Your major single target cooldown is Life Cocoon. It puts a very large shield on the target for 12 seconds and increases all healing over time received by 50%. With your artifact trait, this spell will also place Enveloping Mist and Renewing Mist on the target, making it very easy to heal them back up to full. This should be used mainly as a last resort if the person is for sure going to die. The last cooldown is your artifact ability, Sheilun's Gift. Now, as you're healing throughout a fight, you will see clouds spawn around you, and the number on your Sheilun's Gift spell will increase to a maximum of 12. You will also generate a cloud every time you use a fuse due to an artifact trait. When you use the spell, it will heal the target for around 100 to 150k per cloud absorbed, so when you use it with all 12 clouds, it will be a pretty massive heal. Very rarely do I ever let it get to 12. I generally use it around 5 to 6 because that'll give you a nice size heal without overhealing too much. If you do find yourself at 12 clouds, use it as soon as the next person takes a large amount of damage so you aren't wasting clouds over the fight. There are only a few more spells that I want to mention, however these aren't healing spells, these are our utility spells, one of them being Transcendence. So Transcendence will place a spirit of yourself on the ground, and then when you use Transcendence Transfer, you will swap places with that spirit. And then as soon as you use Transcendence again, vice versa, it will swap you back. So this is actually a really helpful spell on a lot of fights, however I'm not going to name them all today. Just try to look for a point in a fight where this spell would be beneficial to you. It's really good for specifically movement if you're trying to get from one side of the room to the other and you know that you need to go there consistently. Placing a Transcendent Spirit there will help you get there a lot faster, so definitely pay attention to that going into a fight. And the last spell is Fortifying Brew, which is our defensive spell that increases our maximum health by 20% and reduces our damage taken by 20%. Use this when you're about to take a large amount of damage to help cushion it a bit. Alright, so for your basic raid towns, you're going to go with Chi Burst for your 15 talent. 30 is completely up to you, but I like to use Tiger's Lust because it can be used as a free dispel in some situations. Mist Wrap is going to be your 45. 60 again is completely up to you. I prefer leg sweep, but there are some situations where ring of peace might become viable. 75 is either going to be diffuse magic or healing elixir. If there's a part of the fight where you know that a powerful magic attack is going to hit you, you can use diffuse magic to help reduce that damage, but if you just want another passive heal, healing elixir is perfectly fine too. Now for your 90 talent, it gets a little interesting. With the changes to Refreshing Jade Wind in 7.2.5, it's become extremely viable for fights where your group is constantly stacked up. But if your group is spread out more, GG is still going to be the better choice. And then finally for your level 100 talent, Mana Tea is going to be your go-to. This is a very helpful spell that reduces the mana cost of all of your spells by 50% for 10 seconds. It's recommended to use Essence Font, wait a couple seconds, and then pop Mana Tea. Use Vivify and Refreshing Jade Wind throughout the duration of your Mana Tea, and then try to get one more Essence Font off before the Mana Tea runs out. Now, for 5-mans, there are a few changes. Instead of going for Chi Burst, you're going to want to go with Zen Pulse. You'll use this on the tank or melee when they're in the middle of a big group of ads, and it will be a pretty effective heal. It'll basically do damage to everything around it, and then the amount of damage it does is how much it heals your target. So it's a pretty effective heal in 5-man specifically. Of course, Chi Burst is still very good, but in Mythic Plus especially, you don't want it flying too far and pulling another pack of mobs. It's kind of dangerous to use, to be honest. The only other change is your level 100 talent. You're going to be using Focus Thunder or Rising Thunder instead of Mana Tea. Mana isn't really that big of an issue in 5-mans because you do have the opportunity to drink so often, so Focus Thunder and Rising Thunder do end up coming out on top. Now, personally, I prefer Focus Thunder because of being able to cast 2 instant Enveloping Mists, or 2 free Vivifies, or a free Enveloping Mist and a fast Essence Font is extremely helpful. Also, during high-level Mythic Pluses, I don't find myself focusing on DPSing nearly as much, so at times I do forget to reset my Thunder Focus Tea with Rising Sun Kick, so I just use Focus Thunder to eliminate that problem completely. Now, the only other thing I want to mention is that you should not be using Refreshing Jade Wind during 5-mans. I see this question brought up a lot in the Monk Discord. It's not good. It's not going to heal nearly as much as GG or even the Jade statue. Just make sure you're not using Refreshing Jade Wind in 5-man dungeons. Moving on to the artifact traits, I'm not going to go super in depth with your artifact tree. I'm just going to throw up a picture of the path you're going to want to take after you get your new traits. The idea is going to be to basically get all of your straight healing increase spells first, and then your utility traits last. Now, moving on to stats, our stat priority is going to be Crit is greater than Versatility, which is equal to Haste, which is greater than Mastery. So, long story short, you're going to want to prioritize Crit while using Haste and Versatility off pieces, depending on how large of an upgrade the piece is for you. The list of best in slot pieces for the Tomb of Sargeras is listed on the monk website, peakofserenity.com, which I would recommend to all monks regardless of your spec. It's a great source of information, and it will be linked in the description below. Now moving on to legendaries. Our absolute best in slot is Velen's Future Sight. It's an amazing legendary that can be paired with multiple of your heals to dish out high bursts of healing. I personally like to use it with Revival solely for the 15% increased healing, and if Revival does end up overhealing anyone, it will transfer some of that healing to another player that actually needs it. Now, Velen's does have around half the cooldown of Revival, so don't be afraid to pair it with Mana Tea to get some boosted Essence Fonts and Vivifies out. After Velen's, our next best in slot is Pridaz. The padding and pure stats on this legendary don't compare to any other choice. It's an incredible legendary that really helps make messing up mechanics more forgiving, especially when you're going into more difficult content. Next up is the Boots, which are also a pretty solid choice. With the changes in 7.2.5, Vivify has become one of our #1 used spells now that Essence Font has a cooldown, so the extra healing that the Boots give to you during your uplifting trance procs is very powerful. After that, the legendaries kind of fall off a little bit, become a little less amazing and more of just a slight healing increase. The Pants are really the only other legendary that could be considered top tier, though I honestly wouldn't even say that. There is a list of rankings on the peakofserenity.com, so if you don't have one of the 4 I mentioned before, I would check there for the rankings. The only other legendary I want to mention is Sepha's Secret. I still use that in 5-man content due to the amount of dispelling and stunning you can do, so it's actually extremely helpful, so I would highly recommend trying it out in Mythic Plus. Alright, so that's basically everything there is to know about playing a Mistweaver. Just make sure you're using Renewing Mist on cooldown, Vivify with Uplifting Trance procs, Essence Fawn on high raid damage, Enveloping Mist for high single target healing, and cooldowns when necessary. If you guys want to read more into the Mistweaver, definitely check out the Mistweaver Discord. There are a lot of people there who are happy to answer questions, and don't forget to check out PikaCenterEntity.com for all of your monk needs. Also, if you have any other questions, feel free to comment and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you all for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.